everybody. You are here for the main event chess match, a first of its kind, between National Master Daniel Lowinger and National Master Mikhail Koganov. So welcome everybody. And also with me is National Master Ryan Young, who will be doing some live commentary along with myself, Ian Harris. So thank you everybody for joining us. And a little bit about the players, just to introduce everybody before we get started. Mr. Lowinger, top left of your screen, is the co-founder of the Chess Club of Fairfield County and is the author of two chess books, the Queen D8 Scandinavian, Simple and Strong, and also Opening Originals, Strong Sidelines for Club Cats, and is joining us from Virginia, where he now lives, and is a full-time teacher. So hi, Dan. And Mr. Koganov is a chess instructor and national master, and has also just recently returned from his trip to Prague, where he was representing the United States at the World Senior Team Championships. So welcome, Mike. All right. So in just a couple minutes, we are going to get started with our match. The format is going to be, we're going to start off with two slightly longer games, 15 minutes per player with a 2-second increment. And so we're going to have two of those games. And then after that, whatever time is remaining, the players will play 3 minutes with a 2-second increment until time is up at 5 o'clock. And for the longer time controls, points will be awarded 3 points per game. And for the blitz portion, each game will be worth 1 point. So, gentlemen, if you would like to get started, they are going to mute their microphones and their sound, so they won't be able to hear the commentary. And they're going to get started as soon as they are ready. And we'll be off.
All right, sounds good.
Just wait for them to make sure they can't hear us. I want to hear your thoughts on predictions, Mr. Young.
Yeah, I'll make sure they're muted there.
Maybe I should, before we do that, I wrote down their lifetime score against each other in classical chess. So,
okay.
Yeah, they've played a total of 9 games, and 3 wins for Dan, 5 wins for Mike, and 1 draw.
Nice. Okay.
I don't know if that changes your prediction at all or not, but
that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to use classical results to predict for rapid and blitz events. So. And the rating, at least earlier today, was only 2 points from each other, so it's going to be a really tough one to call.
Yeah, they're really close on paper, so it's going to be a good match, that's for sure. I don't know who the favorite's going to be. Let me see if I can just find them here and to get started. Okay, we're just waiting for the...
Yeah, I think they're starting.
There we go. They've just started, yep.
Okay. There's a slightly different story as far as the rapid rating goes.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, USCF ratings, they're very, very close. So, just probably Daniel hasn't played nearly as much rapid chess on here.
Yeah, that's my guess here. Let's see. Okay, so some Queen's Gambit decline stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see.
By the way, I'm really curious to see how the openings go, because I think that's definitely Daniel's strong suit. But Mike also has a very solid repertoire, so...
Yeah, I was half expecting 1b3 here to start off the game. Maybe that's going to be saved for the blitz portion of the match. So.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if Mike can nullify that advantage from Dan in the openings.
Yeah. Here I think Queen c2 is sort of an interesting move order. I think maybe Koganov is trying to slip into some exchange Queen's Gambit declined. Without usually you have to play knight c3 first before knight f3 to get these types of positions. But with an early queen c2, I think sometimes you could actually transpose back into some of those lines.
Yeah.
Depending on what black plays. The main idea is I think it stops an early bishop f5. So if you take the time to play e3, bishop d3, black could insert the bishop to f5 before it gets cut off. So here I think we're just playing an exchange queen's gambit decline.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put my headphones on here in case there's any sound issues. So
sure.
Yeah, and white will probably go for a minority attack, something like trying for b4 and b5 at some point.
Yeah, potentially. Or I think there's actually some lines where white could try bishop d3 and then castle queenside.
Castle queenside, yeah, I've seen that, and then like a pawn storm on the king side.
You could do that, or you could even play like king b1 and then rook dc1 and play knight a4 c5 and even play on the queen side. Yeah, so I think these structures offer a lot of different plans for both sides.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how they both approach it.
Yeah, so maybe regardless of the result of this game, we might see this opening a few more times.
Yeah.
And players trying to mix it up a little bit. By the way, I think these first rapid games are going to be crucial because 3 points is a lot of points in this. You're only going to have an hour maybe for the blitz. That's maybe 7 games. So if you lose one of these games, you're 3 points in the hole already.
Yeah.
You really can't afford to lose one of these.
Yeah, I mean, I think if anybody wins both of the rapid games, then you could almost call it then. I mean, they would have to perform spectacularly in the blitz in order to come back the other side. So, yeah, it's definitely going to kind of set the precedent for the rest of the match here.
Yeah. And if anybody in the chat is interested in making any predictions, we'd love to hear what you think.
Yeah, I feel like this is the part where the point where I should make some kind of prediction. I think I'm gonna be let's see. Oh, it's a tough call. I'm gonna go Koganov on this one. I'm gonna say he's gonna pull through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he has enough tricks up his sleeve for some of the blitz games that I think if he runs into trouble in one line, he'll have plenty more to choose from. But I mean, of course you could say the same thing for Dan there too. But
I was gonna say Dan's usually very well prepared in the opening, I found.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna go Koganov. I want to say he's gonna play b3. And unless Dan did some very specific prep work or something, I think he's just going to be much more comfortable in those kinds of positions, and I think that's all that matters in these 3-minute games. So he's also a very strong endgame player. So I think if things don't get super sharp, I think that might favor Koganov.
Yeah. By the way, Dan confided in me that he doesn't have a mouse, so that might get him into trouble if things get really low on time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If he's using a touchpad, then things are going to be a lot different. I mean, the increment might be helpful though. I mean, if both time controls have a 2-second bonus, then that should probably get you out of most trouble as far as flagging goes. So maybe you can make a move across the board.
So I should just add that I've seen this line from black. This is really tricky. Like black's gonna go knight e6 and maybe knight g5 and try to attack on the king side. And there's all sorts of crazy complicated sacrifices that can happen in the center. There was a Casa Corley game that went this way. I've been trying to learn it myself, so I know a little bit about this.
All right. Yeah, I'll let you take the lead here. Yeah, not super familiar with the castle's king side lines here.
If castle's queen side, I'll for white.
My only experience is getting crushed by Kolos and this line as white. I castled king side once and I immediately fell apart, unfortunately. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess Khan in the chat is rooting for black because white castled king side, or is betting on black at least.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is going a little bit differently than what I'm familiar with. Partly it's because in that Casa-Corley game, the knight went to e2.
Yeah.
But now it's already planted on e5, so it's a little bit different scenario going on here.
Yeah, I think that's one of the key differences in playing the exchange when you have already committed to knight f3. Yeah, usually you reach these positions with knight c3 and d5, but of course then Dan would have had the chance to play some kind of IMZO, so you do have to kind of work with the knight being on f3 when in a lot of lines it does want to go to e2.
So this retreat is interesting. Now White has to make a decision, like what trade to do, whether to go back, or should I take? Probably back.
Yeah,
I think bishop back is usually normal here.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious to see if there's some chess psychology at work for both sides. I wonder if both sides are just trying to play some simple chess. I'm kind of curious to see how an endgame between these two players would play out. So.
Yeah, me too. And 1 second. Daniel's taking a lot of time here, though. I mean, it's not his turn right now, but he's already down almost 3 minutes, so I'm a little bit surprised because most of this was theory, I believe, right? Pretty straightforward.
I think so. Yeah, maybe again with that knight on f3, maybe things are a little bit different than what he may have prepared for. Okay, well, this kind of changes the story a little bit now. D takes e5.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that, actually.
Yeah, now all of a sudden it seems like White doesn't want to go into an ending, and maybe he's going to put on the pressure a bit. So I'm assuming f4, f5 at some point. Otherwise, that's the idea.
I mean, yeah, it must be. Otherwise, this bishop's just trapped in forever, right? Like, it can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, f4, f5 at the right moment. Try to get an attack.
Yeah, I mean, I think it also denies the black knight the e6 square, which would, I think, otherwise want to kind of hang out on and sort of blockade. Not fast enough.
Bishop h7 check is being suggested, possibly for earlier move.
Bishop g6? I'm sorry?
No, bishop h7 check.
Oh, bishop h7 check.
I don't know if that does too much. Like,
yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm familiar. Yeah, I'm familiar in some French defense lines where black kind of throws in a random or sort of seemingly random bishop h2 check move and then kind of retreats it back and makes some argument that the king is probably slightly worse off on the h file than it is on the g file. I don't know if the same could really be said here. Especially because the king also could go to f8, although I don't know if that would be all that great either.
Yeah. Somebody also mentioned that the bishop on c8 is not developed, but yeah, I think it's too early to bring it out because where do you put it? Like what's it going to do on g4 is not attacking anything. It might get chased, and you want e6 for the knight. So the bishop is good on c8 actually. It guards here, and at the right moment maybe need to guard your pawn. So you kind of wait with that c8 bishop. Especially since you can get it out pretty quickly whenever you need.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe black could try for an eventual. Well, I was gonna consider something like b5, but that seems maybe that's probably not my best suggestion.
We can c6 pawn a little bit.
Yeah, c5 is forever a problem. Yeah.
But black did a good job. I don't think. Well, actually, b4 could still happen. Now that I think about it, as soon as he moved that bishop away, he had been stopping it. Like the b4 wasn't going to be an option.
Could White just ignore this? Oh, okay, he doesn't. I was
almost in danger, right?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but here comes the f4, f5.
But could you? Yeah, could you have played f4 anyway? And just kind of accepted the double pawns.
Yeah, perhaps.
Maybe this is just
You're never going to be able to push that g pawn though, or maybe you'd have to play f5 first.
Yeah.
But e5's always hanging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, f5 is not going to be so easy to get in unless you can somehow protect your e pawn some other way.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Could we like swing the knight around somehow, 92, and then maybe queen c3? I don't know if that's something seems a little fishy about that plan, but
Yeah. I don't know. Perhaps.
I'm not quite sure. Yeah.
Plans for both sides here are a little bit hard, aren't they? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, maybe White's even considering to play e4 at some point.
E4, yeah.
Or maybe
I was thinking Black might want to play F6. And
f6. Yeah.
And just to try to weaken White's pawn structure, and if pawn takes, then the rook will be bearing down on this backwards pawn.
Sure.
That seems like an interesting idea.
Ooh, 96. So kind of inviting.
Can't we go F5? What's the move after that? Knight C5 maybe?
C5? Yeah, maybe knight C5.
Trying
But
to
yeah,
get rid of
F5
bishop.
F6 has to be, you know.
No?
Oh, 92.
He's doing your plan.
Okay.
Look at that. I mean,
Was there some issue with F5?
I don't know. I don't.
I mean, maybe, okay.
Maybe E5 gets weak. Maybe it's a little bit premature.
Yeah, okay, so like, F5, knight C5, F6, knight D3, queen D3, and then rook E5, and maybe with only one set of minor pieces on the board, though, the weakness around the king is not going to be enough to cause pressure, and the white just has very weak pawns.
Could be. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Well, so I think it's probably in
now F5 perhaps. So, but E5 is still going to be
weak, and it might be in Mikhail's best interest just to keep the tension on the board. I mean, he's up a significant amount of time. He has just shy of twice as much time as his opponent. So if he could just kind of keep the tension and not make it easy for Black to make moves. Maybe he's hoping for just some eventual slip up here. Well, Dan probably has to calculate at least a little bit on every move.
Yeah, no, I agree. At this point, with the time advantage of more than 5 minutes, Mike should be just trying to keep things solid and go for an endgame, I think. Draw out the game as long as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like always having this as a threat for the right moment if Dan slips up at some point.
Yeah, it could be played kind of whenever. So, yeah, I mean, Dan is essentially just always going to have to watch for that move.
Yeah, actually, somebody asked, why retreat? Well, maybe the queen's just rerouting to c5. I think maybe he wanted to play queen c5 and trade the queens off the board. That would make any attacking with f5 much less dangerous to him. And so that's why White played rook c1, just to kind of stop that idea.
Mm-hmm. I mean, plus, I don't think that Black is really dreaming about any type of king set attack. So the queen wasn't,
Right.
Other than just making sure that you're not going down a piece, recapturing the bishop, it doesn't have too much of a purpose over there. So.
Yeah, so I think it's all about Black is trying to, well, if he could trade queens, then any sort of pressure on the king side will go away. But yeah, now he's got a hard decision to make. I'm not even sure what Black should do.
Yeah, this this combined with the time pressure is going to be tough. Because I think if Black doesn't eventually do something, White could just sort of continuously improve his position. Maybe something like King H1. Okay, barring the H1A diagonal becoming very weak, maybe he could try something like King H1, Rook G1, and then play G4, and now you might have to worry about G5 or F5 then G5. I just see a lot of ways that White could improve his pieces, and Black has to be very careful with
what about knight to D4? That seems like an interesting possibility at some point. Just
plant
the knight.
It's just I mean, if knight takes, of course, then White's pawn structure is fixed, and
knight F5 might be possible, or also like if he can't ever play C5 because then the knight comes here and here. So I think knight D4 kind of looks like a good idea to me.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to.
Also, it's not too much on E2.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, maybe just to play devil's advocate, maybe we just don't. Oh, well, scratch that. He did put the knight in. Maybe you could also just wait. Like, knight F5 or knight D4 seems like a good move, but maybe like rook F3 first or something like that.
Yeah, rook slips are definitely going to be possible here, adding more pressure, especially if knight F5 happens. It's got to be a little bit scary.
Does Black need to exchange here? Should he exchange?
I mean, he might need to, but it doesn't look good.
No.
You can't play c5, like I said, because of knight b5, and knight coming into d6 would be,
Yeah.
I think, extremely risky.
Mm-hmm.
And you can never get rid of that knight, so c5 is not an option here. Yeah, tough situation for Black. I think Mike probably surprised him in the opening, is my guess. Don't think Daniel was prepared for this. I wouldn't have been. And I played Mike many times. I would not have expected knight f3 and going into Queen's Gambit on the first game.
Yeah, no, for sure. And yeah, I mean, now the time advantage only seems to be increasing, so we'll have to see how Dan plays under a decent amount of pressure here. Because now it went from half the time to almost a quarter. So I think it's in White's best interest just to keep the position as complex as possible. Ooh, knight f5.
I was thinking maybe Queen c3, but knight f5 is a little aggressive, so it's making it complicated now.
Well, I guess the idea is he can't really. Well, I'm not sure. I guess he shouldn't want to play g6 because then the knight just returns to d4. Well, wait. Okay, what happens to g6 then? Actually, it can't go to d4.
Yeah, you
if it takes h6.
Right. No, this is good. Look at this, because now there's pressure here and here. Now you can go back to d4 though, right? You can go back to d4 in this position because the knight moved away from e6. So maybe White just retreats back. Oh, he's invading. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
But this is taken with check. So it's a pawn sacrifice?
Yeah, well, I think part of the idea is that the rook.
Okay, but I put it on e7.
The rook has to go to e7, yeah? Otherwise, bishop h7. And mate? Oh, no, I'm sorry, the knight on f8 guards. Let me wake up a little bit. Okay, so there's no real big threat. Maybe the rook can go to d8 then, after all?
Right away?
Yeah. Or is that an issue? I think so.
I don't know. Yeah, well, that's what he chose.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been knight on e7 because it helps guard here, but I guess maybe he was worried about. I don't know what he was worried about, actually.
Well, I think it kind of encourages White to eventually play f5, f6, especially after a move like what Mikhail just decided to play here.
Yeah.
And then f6 comes with an extra tempo, so to speak.
By the way, thank you everybody for tuning in to watch the games. We already have an exciting match right from the start, as predicted. And well, Black's up a pawn at the moment, but White's pieces are all kind of on their ideal squares, I would say.
Yeah, I'd have to score this position better for White. But it's nice that Black has the one pawn as an investment for his kind of the suffering that's going to be happening in the next couple moves. So if he can make it to an endgame, then he'll be looking good.
That would be a good chance for him.
Yeah, it's going to be a long journey there, though.
So Mike probably should be going for an attack right now, which looks like that's what he's trying to cash in on this f pawn.
Yeah, and I do think it's I don't know if he needs to rush necessarily so much because Black, like the bishop on c8 and the rook on a8, even the rook on d8, all of Black's pieces are on the back rank, so White could still take some time and improve before Black could start thinking about cashing in on that extra pawn.
Jak mogę говорить?
Gotta get Mike to turn his microphone off.
Okay. Somebody in Dan's camp is making some calls. Okay, coming down to a minute now. Wow. Okay. Less than a minute.
Yeah, less than a minute. So things are going to be happening faster. So the question is, should Mike make some quick moves and get him in more time pressure, or really think and play accurately? Hey there, Jason. Good to see you.
That's a good question. I think you have to sort of time your quick moves appropriately. I think there's got to be a moment where he wants to kind of stack up a few moves and really put the pressure on Dan. But if the increment's only 2 seconds, then maybe this doesn't have to be played right away. Rook b8. Okay.
Yeah, he's got to do something.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, tough situation. Whoa, what's going on?
Wow.
Sacrifice? What's he got?
Okay,
He's
take.
just gonna go here and here.
That was immediate.
Yeah.
That was right away. Okay, I mean.
But king here?
Oh, E7 is E7. This is.
Why couldn't he go to E7?
Oh, why couldn't he go to E7?
Yeah, why couldn't king go to E7? I don't know why he couldn't do that. I mean, it looked super dangerous, but white doesn't have a dark squared bishop. So.
Yeah, and now.
Well, this is gonna end up being a trade. So white gets the piece back.
White gets the piece back, but
I don't know if that really worked.
But not the pawn, unfortunately. So
You're right.
white's still down the pawn. Unless maybe he calculated rook e7 here. Is there going to be more trouble on the way?
Maybe, but I feel like that was not such a good idea to cash in right at that moment.
Yeah, probably not.
Because now all of a sudden black has pressure on this pawn. I mean, he's not going to win it right away, but he's attacking something. Oh, another sacrifice.
Whoa.
That would have been risky to take because there was like a rook e8 check or something like that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, okay, bishop h7 check, king h8 takes check, king takes queen g6 check, and then takes on g4. Our bishop's hanging in as well. Okay, but and the queen could also take. That's probably an important detail. It could take on g7 and step back and defend.
Yeah, the queen can. That would cover the king pretty well. So now, can he take?
Take bishop h7, king f8, right?
Yeah,
okay.
King h8 seems safer, but now this pawn seems like a real thorn in black's side. Like it's not going anywhere. And rook to e8 is a threat.
He can't play rook. Yeah, he can't. Yeah, his rook e8 is definitely the idea.
So black probably has to play bishop d7 and quickly because he's got 10 seconds.
Yeah. So maybe in hindsight, this wasn't the most accurate approach for white. I mean, maybe, but since it was played quickly, it's going to be tough for white to figure this one out, or black to figure this one out. Yeah, seconds. So and queen e2. Okay.
Well, white might not have an attack on the king anymore, but black's pieces are really stuck. Like the rooks can't go anywhere. This pawn is probably decisive.
Yeah, but probably. Ooh.
Does that work? Why can't I go rook here? Oh, because queen takes?
Takes queen.
Yeah, rook takes, and then
he's and mate. Takes queen mate.
So you can't play rook takes queen. Wow, nice tactic. Very good.
Yeah, he came ready. He came fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, so that's round one. Sorry, Dan. Nice game by white. And very nice actually. So we'll see if I played Mike many times, and I felt like he plays the opening pretty quickly, but then he can get into time pressure also. So I was a little bit surprised to see such a huge time gap in that game.
Actually, my most recent game against him, a loss, by the way, was one featuring him getting into some trouble. Yeah, and this is exactly how it went. Funny enough. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's pretty familiar with these types of structures here.
Yeah. So we have Mike Koganov taking a early 3-point lead with a win in the first game. So now, what's the strategy for Dan? He's probably got to try to win this game.
I think it's maybe not forced, but I mean it's almost a must-win situation here.
But on the other hand, you don't want to take too many risks and lose, and then you really can't win the match.
Yeah, I guess instead of a must-win, it's a must-not lose. So, yeah, but still, I don't know if I would be very happy as Dan going into the blitz portion down 3 points. That's a lot to collect back.
It is, yes, and I don't think that anybody has a clear advantage in the blitz either.
Yeah, I mean the rating seems so close, so needing to, and also just the pressure of needing to win some of those blitz games again makes the strategy for Mikhail, makes a certain strategy of just keeping it simple, available, not playing too passive, but being okay with just simplifying the positions and making draws, because every draw must be helpful for him. Just one less opportunity to close the gap.
Yeah, exactly. So this is our second game of the 15-minute rapid portion. It's 15 minutes with a 2-second increment. And after this game, we might have a quick break for the players, and then we will head into the blitz portion, which is 3 minutes with a 2-second increment. And what's going on in this game? I mean,
That's a good question. I guess
C8 again, but
yeah.
Everything's kind of blocked up for the moment.
Could Black consider something like takes on d4 followed by taking on e4 and then making the fork with d5, or does this just open everything up for White's bishops maybe?
I'd be nervous about unleashing the bishop from b2.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're going to really get something good doing all those exchanges, I don't know. It seems risky.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really want to open the position when you're behind in development, which I feel like because the bishop's on c8, that's only going to favor White. Unless you have a tactic to win a pawn or something, or get a good position for your pieces. But
so maybe something like, I think a somewhat standard plan might be like bishop f8, g6, bishop g7, maybe? Challenging the bishop.
Reverting this bishop to here so you can kind of counteract that guy. That could make sense, yeah. I mean, definitely bishop to f8 to begin with, because you want to have your rook helping that center pawn.
Yeah, at least open the rook, yeah.
Yeah, at least you want to do that. But it's White's turn though, so I mean his pieces all seem like they're on good squares. I'm not sure what exactly you do to improve your position. Maybe you try to get your rook to d1, so you put your queen somewhere. Just don't know where you want to go.
Yeah, I think I had a pretty well. Okay, in the game that I had played, which looks somewhat different, I tried to eventually build up on the king side, but maybe White could try something here eventually with like knight e2 to g3 or something. I know that hangs the pawn in the meantime, but maybe try to engineer that somehow and slowly build up on the king side. The exchange is interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe with the bishop on b2, this is okay, but I thought trading the pawn on d4 for the one on d6 in general favors.
Yeah, you're trading your center pawn really for this pawn. It's not actually trading for the e pawn because this pawn is just going to replace it.
Yeah, the e pawn reappears. So.
But maybe he's just hoping to have a lot of pressure on that pawn. Here we go. So he's going with a knight maneuver to here. And you have to be careful playing this knight h4 stuff because every once in a while there's going to be a discovered attack on the knight. So like Black could take on e4 and then take the knight. But here he must have calculated he has rook take c4 and then that guards it.
Mm-hmm.
That could still be kind of tricky though because is there not like a knight c5?
Oh,
Let me play it now. Play it first. I was thinking to play it later after knight takes e4. But
takes. Oh, takes knight c5. Yeah.
Yeah, that would look like an interesting line to me. But very complicated. Like then there's some sort of like queen f3 or queen h5 stuff. So f7 is a weak spot for Black. Right now this knight cannot move. I like that queen f3 move. It guards e4. It puts some pressure on Black so that knight on f6 can't really move. And
I'm guessing Black just plays bishop e6.
That makes sense.
I mean, maybe
Probably
seems like White's building up a little bit of pressure.
Maybe you can actually.
Like,
if you allow this, then you could get your knight on f5. It can never really be chased away from that square. So it'd be interesting to see like what White decides to do here with the bishops. If he just lets Black take it and ruin the pawns on the queen side to get the knight to f5, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what about like bishop? But even after something like bishop e6, knight e6.
All the way back.
Oh no, okay. So preserving. Okay. But I wonder how strong the knight is on f5. Like, can't Black just put the bishop on f8 and then eventually kick it with g6? Or, I mean, we would have to do something about the knight on f6 potentially hanging.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. If this knight on c5 isn't really doing much on this, then I feel like it could get a little bit misplaced there.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see some rerouting.
I don't see what White could do against it, but maybe just leave it there.
So White definitely has some chances to try to put on the pressure, but it seems like Black's position is doing just fine.
Yeah.
But credit to Dan. I mean, the time's essentially even. So.
Yeah, he's doing better on time this time. That's better, for sure. But I'm still not sure how do you make progress here, because yeah, now knight f5 just gets chased by g6, and the h6 pawn is protected by the bishop, so the knight will just have to go back.
Well, knight f5, g6, knight h6, and then queen f6.
Oh, the knight's hanging. That's
okay. Yeah, so there's that one.
Knight f5 is an option, yeah.
Yeah.
That's clever, yeah. So g6.
Yeah, for every 2 bad suggestions, I at least try to get one good suggestion.
And then at the end, the queen comes in and takes this knight. So yeah, black has to not fall for that trick. If g6, they lose a pawn, it looks like.
Could we prepare this with... it's actually maybe difficult to prepare. You can't really bring the queen to g8 without it being chased, and...
But is it really a threat? Like, queen g3 wasn't really a threat, I don't think, because then you could play g6, I suppose.
That's fair. Okay, so I guess now we're just moving the knight out of the way, yeah.
Yeah, that solves that problem. So now g6 is coming next, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this knight can reroute to e3 also, so it's not going to have to go back to h4 or something like that. And then that can support bishop to c4 again if Daniel so chooses. Although, yeah. I do know from experience that he is very fond of his bishops, so...
maybe the knight goes there first then.
The knight to c4, yeah. That would actually maybe not be that bad. A knight there would be hitting this guy.
I wonder if the bishop's going to go to c1 at some point. Some undeveloping moves.
Yeah, I mean, e5 seems pretty safe. It's hard to actually put a lot of pressure on it, and it's guarded plenty of times. And yeah, bishop to c1 would be interesting, because then that would make g6 impossible, right?
I think so. Yeah,
I think we could just take it with the knight if the bishop's supporting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then just back to g4. As long as the knight has some safe route back, then yeah.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, bishop c1 is interesting. It does block the rook from getting to d1, but it might be kind of important to do it now to stop g6 from happening, if that's something you're worried about.
Mm-hmm.
If you're white, you probably prefer to have the rook on d1 first.
Yeah, but that might lose the first tempo. I think the nice part about white's position is black doesn't have any of the breaks, or it seems like it's white. You know, black seems to be defending well, but it seems like white's the one in charge here. So I think maybe we could spend the time to play something like bishop c1, e3, and then put the rook on d1. I don't know how black take advantage of the loss of tempo, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So do you knight h6 is the threat?
Yes, that would not be good. So, but I don't see. Well, I mean, you can play g6. It won't really be threatening the knight immediately, but
yeah.
I mean, or maybe just king to h8. But then bishop to a3 might be interesting. Hitting this, and the bishop might become a little bit overworked.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting idea.
Could the queen just kind of step in for the bishop though after? Oh, we have a capture. Okay.
Oh yeah. So black finally decided I got to get rid of that knight.
Yeah. And now maybe something like knight f6. I think as long as you prevent pawn f6, you should be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this looks okay. But see, I knew Dan would go for the bishop pair. He always wants that bishop pair.
Yeah, I feel like giving up the light square bishop has to be at least the tiniest bit of a concession from black.
Mm.
Could white try something like queen f3 and then g4 maybe? I don't know if you want to have e4 coming in with a tempo, actually. Or maybe queen h2, keeping it pinned, and then g4? I don't know. Like, what's white's plan here? Maybe just try to open it up for the bishops, or are we still trying to pressure the king?
I really don't know. Yeah, I mean, getting the pawn to g5 would be dangerous for black, but...
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think would fare better in the ending here? Which position would you prefer?
Well, white does have these doubled pawns, so
Yeah.
but it probably doesn't matter too much. As long as this pawn's not weak, it can always be protected pretty easily.
Mhm.
And white does have the 2 bishops, so a little bit more space. It might
Maybe
be a slight
white-
edge for white, but I think
Yeah.
I have a feeling this position is pretty even actually.
That sounds about right. Yeah. So does black just capture and then play knight f6? Or no, e5 would.
Yeah, e5 is going to be a problem, isn't it? If you do that. Actually, that's
Okay.
a threat, isn't it? Knight takes. Oh, so
Yeah, so
you
take
play knight
takes.
f6 because there's too much pressure on this
Yeah.
pawn.
Maybe pawn f6. I
Pawn
don't know.
f6. Then this bishop becomes a monster all of a sudden, right?
Yeah, bishop c4. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want this coming in if you're on your king like that.
Eventually, something like this will be kind of forced. Maybe I'm missing something, but how is black gonna hang on to that pawn? Could
I don't know because rook e1 might be a possibility.
bishop d6? Okay.
Or now queen d3. Queen d3 maybe knight c5 though.
Yeah.
Forking.
Oh.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Probably an important detail.
Yes. How do you build the pressure? Maybe rook e1 and f4? Is that too crazy? Because you're going to be pinned along this.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Potentially too crazy. I don't know.
But you know what? Even if white wins this pawn, I'm not sure the endgame is winning because of the double pawns. The 4 versus 3 over here.
4 versus 3 is tough
get
enough.
through, yeah. That might not
Yeah.
even be enough to get through. Rook g4 was suggested in the chat. Yeah, that looks powerful. Then probably you have to retreat back.
Yeah.
That looks annoying, rook g4 for black.
Yeah, rook g4, then bishop f8 is forced. Maybe.
More or less, seems pretty forced. But then you've taken away one of your attackers from this pawn, so I still don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but what about rook g4, bishop f8, and then rook e1? Something like that.
Well, actually, what about f4 in that position? Rook g4, f4, after bishop f8, and then trying to open up this bishop, so everything's going after this square.
Ooh, yeah, that looks,
That's a little bit scary.
yeah.
Unless
and I
black
don't
has
think-
time for knight f6, but I don't know.
That's going to be a tough one to calculate out. Yeah, yeah. Dan has to be careful. He's this is definitely it seems what seems to be like a pretty critical position, but
But it doesn't seem like it's a lot of risk. You just put your opponent on the defensive and go for
Yeah.
it, right?
but okay, rook g4, bishop f8. Oh, f4. Yeah.
Yeah, rook here. We're looking at bishop f8 and then f4, trying to open up the bishop from b2 to g7. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. Dan doesn't want to get low on time here either. Okay, rook
That's the
h4
thing, yeah.
seems a little bit less dangerous, but maybe he's trying to draw the king to h7 and then go rook g4. That'd be slightly more powerful, maybe. I don't know. But then black has like rook g8 ideas.
Yeah, I think this might just help.
Well, actually, the king on h7 might be really bad if the bishop comes to d3. Now that I look at it, then you got all sorts of f6 threats.
Yeah, but what about just knight f6, right? I think the knight's always happy to kind of sit there for a bit if it needs to.
Yeah, and I wonder if you can play f6 first and then bishop d3. Sacrifice that f pawn. And just try to bust everything open. I mean, if you're playing for a must-win, I think if that's what he's got in his head, then he's got to go for something like this, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose that the question is, do you take the risk now in the rapid game where...
Yeah, so he sensed the danger a little bit and just went the other way.
Yeah, I don't... Unless there's some crafty way to open the H-file or something, maybe that's not so bad.
I mean, I was just, if it wasn't for this knight, I was envisioning like rook takes the pawn takes f6, and then going queen g7 mate.
Yeah,
The knight
yeah,
goes f6, so that pawn advance doesn't quite work. That would have been interesting. Oh, now?
now.
You can't play bishop f8, actually. Yeah, that's maybe a little slight problem with king f8, isn't it?
Yeah, if I'm allowed to comment, there was some head shaking in the Koganov camp.
All right. Well, we might be witnessing a
comeback.
A comeback, yeah, and which would mean that it would all come down to the blitz games. Maybe, well, almost certainly too early to call, but looking a little dangerous for black here. I don't actually see what you're going to do about this g7 pawn, and then the king is just wide open.
Could you try e4? No, that hangs the bishop.
Well,
okay,
I
you
take
can't
it with check with the bishop instead, right?
The check, bishop c5 check.
Oh, the bishop on d6 is hanging. Yeah,
D6
so you can't even do
yeah.
it anyway. Yeah, but also there was bishop g7 check first, I think.
Yeah.
Perhaps. A little messy.
Because maybe just king g8, but probably not. Yeah, then the bishop just goes to e5
And
check.
knight f6. Yeah,
Knight f6, rook g7, knight h5 I was looking at, but rook g8.
Queen and rook, but then rook g8. Yeah, that looks pretty good for white.
Yeah. I feel like the time might be evening out here.
Time is evening out because black has to find a move here, but I'm starting to think there might not be one.
Okay, what about... this is not going to be easy.
This is yeah. I mean, look at these rooks. When you just look at a position like this, and you're comparing the pieces to see who's better. White has these two attacking rooks on the files, and black's rook, like especially the one over here, is not really doing anything. And this one's protecting the center, but not nearly as active as white's rooks. I did a whole lesson the other day just on piece activity, and this is kind of a good example of that. White's pieces are just super active. And this bishop can join in at any moment too. Like that, I would. This is going to happen soon because then rook takes here will be a threat. In fact, I might play it right now. Bishop c4 looks really strong.
Yeah. There's how does black reply? Something like rook d7 maybe?
Yeah, so rook d7, and then he's got to watch out for no, there's never a sacrifice on f7, is there?
Yeah, only maybe a blunder on f7.
But what about queen h4? That also looks like it's going to be dangerous because you're going here, you're threatening the knight.
Yeah.
It hangs the rook. It hangs the rook. Sorry, you can't hang the rook.
Shouldn't hang the rook. Yeah.
But there are some weak spots here. If we could, maybe bishop to c1. Bishop to c1. That's really dangerous, isn't it?
Or potentially even rook d3 and then queen h4. I don't know.
Yeah.
Takes the rook g3. I guess then the king could just hide on h7 now. So probably not. Yeah, bishop c1 looks very strong.
I mean, you have to have a reply to. Oh, knight h5 is not possible, of course, because you have mate.
Yeah.
So yeah, bishop c1. Like the bishop's aiming at e5, but that spot's really well defended. So why not remaneuver this bishop and get it to a better attacking position? Like get it involved. I think once that bishop lands on one of these two squares, the game is over.
Maybe after bishop c1 is e4 a problem?
Bishop c1, e4. Yeah, that's true. Black always has a little bit of counterplay here.
Because where does the queen go that still guards the rook is kind of the question.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe he has to pay attention to that. Well, actually, there's also rook takes in that position. And then if the queen goes here, we trade queens and go bishop a3 maybe? And get in on this diagonal instead.
Yeah, we're going to see.
Oh, but we can't trade queens. This rook is always hanging on g7. That's a good point. Okay, he played bishop c1, so now I'm really curious of what's the problem with e4. What does white do?
I mean, even without working out all of the complications, like that's sort of the only try for black that I see. Otherwise, you're just gonna wait. I don't think waiting patiently is gonna be helpful. So e4, rook d6. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna see. Okay, so e4. Does rook d6 work?
Yeah, but what are you gonna do after queen takes?
Yeah, that's the trouble.
You need a move there.
Yeah, and even after queen takes queen, rook takes bishop a3. There's even rook d1 check first.
Well, you could play bishop takes h6 first, I suppose, instead of bishop to a3, and sacrifice an exchange. But then
Yeah, things are becoming foggy, and
You don't have a really good discovery there. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, and again,
Oh,
Mikhail is
actually,
going to be
is there
up.
actually queen h4 here? Maybe is good. You can let the king take and then play queen takes, or even
Ooh.
bishop takes, perhaps. Yeah, queen takes and then take the knight, and that should be a mating net of some sort there.
Wait, but queen h4, bishop h2 check.
Bishop h2 check.
And this time it's a good bishop h2 check.
You're ruining all my fun. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, queen here. Then there's this check, and the problem is the rook is hanging on d1. Wow. Then you get mated. Wow.
Yeah.
Bishop h2,
That's
king f1, rook takes, king into e2. Is this getting too crazy?
Go ahead again. I'm sorry.
I play queen h4, bishop to h2 check, king f1. You
King
take
F1.
on d1, and I go king to e2.
Oh, wow.
One of my patented king walks. I mean, everything's hanging.
Can I not take the? Oh well, I can't. The bishop. Can I not take the bishop?
You could take the bishop, and then I have queen to h6 hitting your rook, and threatening a discovery on the king. That's a lot of arrows. Sorry.
Or just queen h8 or something.
Wow, he's sacrificing the queen.
Okay.
Is there a mate that we missed? I don't
Um,
quite. Oh yeah, there is a mate. Wow, look at that. If bishop takes, then rook takes f7,
Double check.
king e8, rook f8.
Where's the mate?
Because the rook would be aiming down, guarding d7.
Oh no.
That's a mate. So
Wait. But where's the rook f8 mate? Yeah.
No, rook takes f7 check, double check from the bishop and the rook, and then the king
Yeah.
has to go to e8, and then rook f8 is mate.
Yeah. Rook. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
That solves all the problems for white, doesn't it? Wow.
Okay. What if just king e8 now? And he says, okay,
Yeah,
now
so,
you're
yeah, so
still
you can't
hanging.
take the queen. King e8 now.
And now, yeah, there we go. And now there's
That was probably
we've
forced,
solved-
yeah.
we solved that problem. The queen is hanging. Bishop h2
So
check.
maybe I can just do queen h4. Is there any... Oh, there's still the bishop h2 threat. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And now Dan has 2 minutes to figure this thing out. So this is
Awesome.
really critical. What happens in these next like 3-4 moves, maybe even this move, to be honest.
I mean, when you're attacking like this, you have to be really accurate.
Yeah, because now I don't really see why Black can't just play king d7, king c8, and hide if he really needs to.
Kind of escape to safety, yeah.
I don't see any. Wait.
I think somebody suggested bishop f4. That might be... That's like... White could definitely play that. Wait a minute. Can he play it? Why can't I take?
Yeah, I think it just takes. Yeah,
I don't think that's actually safe. Unless there's a trick I'm missing.
Is there some crazy justification for... No, there's not. I almost wanted to play like bishop e6 and try to cut off the e6 square. But then the rook's...
Sorry. Yeah, bishop f4. I see. Yeah, very nice. NM Yang 52. Yeah. Because
What
after
did we-
bishop f4, bishop takes f4, then rook g8. And knight takes the rook, queen takes check. And you're taking on f7 on the next move. With the queen.
Oh,
Just goes
okay.
rook g8 right away. I don't see how this is going to work.
Yeah, so takes.
King d7, it's forced.
Oh, bishop e6 check? Oh, no. Okay.
That was not good enough.
I went crazy for a second. What about... I thought that was almost syntactic.
Yeah,
But could we play like pawn f6?
okay, he's getting his exchange. Oh, yeah, f6 actually, that might ruin this for white.
I'm all about ruining the fun.
Or what about king c8? You go f6, I go king b8, and then you take my rook, but I'm taking you on it. I'm going bishop h2 check ideas again. That might be too
Here-
wild for black.
Maybe here just bishop e6 anyway. You collect back.
Yeah, you're
So-
getting your exchange back probably. I think it would be too risky to go king to e8. Well, you get mated right away, so yeah, it's too risky. Mate in one. Wait, but is this... It's bad actually, right? Oh yeah. Because I
So
put
it's
rook
white-
takes, pawn takes, king e7, but then queen g7, right?
Yeah, so rook takes, pawn takes. Oh, wait.
That's
Rook takes,
mating.
pawn takes, and king can't go to c8.
Oh, but then I
because
can
of-
go king to e6, I guess, and try to run out.
Oh, takes. Okay, yeah. So you have to go
kinda
east, I think.
And by
Yeah,
the
you
way,
have-
if we do go into an endgame, if the queens and rooks get traded, which is definitely a possibility if queen g7 and the queens trade and then the rooks trade on the file, will be the same color bishop ending. White has an extra passed pawn, so surely that's an advantage big advantage for white. Probably a decisive advantage. So, although he only has 1 minute, but with the increment it should be enough. Wow, he's just allowing. What? Can he allow this? E7 check?
I don't know. I would really need to. I don't know. I would really
surely,
need to.
Surely it's over after E7, right?
Yeah, Dan just has to. He's taking the last of his few seconds just to double check. I don't know.
Yeah, E7. There we go. Check. Nice discovery check there. He's threatening the rook as well. You can't play rook D7 because then I go E8, get a free queen, and that's the game. Okay.
King E7 would have been interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, King E7 would have been the only way. I think it was forced. He had to go that way, but it looked so dangerous with the queen coming in from the side.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this makes the blitz portion more interesting.
Yeah, so now we're tied 3-3. So let me just update the standings here. Oof, that was a clutch win by Daniel there. He really needed that. So all wins for white so far.
Okay, I just unmuted. Are we taking a little break here?
Yeah, if you want to take a little break for a couple minutes, just bathroom break or something, then we'll get started when you guys are ready.
Okay, sounds good. Good games, Mikhail.
Well done, Dan. Beautiful game.
Yeah, both exciting games.
2 minutes break or something?
Yeah, if you could just mute your microphone, that'd be great.
Okay.
Just muted the mic right.
Yeah, because we're getting some feedback. Okay. Well, that was exciting. Two nice attacking games, and white just had the better of it in both of them, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, so I wonder if these openings are going to be repeating themselves during the blitz portion, or if both sides are cooking up something else.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they change. I mean, because so far black openings have been pretty disastrous, I would say.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I don't think they would disagree with that assessment.
Sure, although I think the second game, black position seemed to be okay for some time. Up until maybe King F8.
Until King F8, yeah. Where was that? King F8. And yeah, King F8 was a problem because he didn't have this Bishop F8 retreat defense anymore.
Yeah, so maybe King H8 would have kind of changed the course of things. But yeah, even in that last position we were talking about, if I mean, what really happens after a pawn takes check, King E7? I don't even know if white. Yeah, I don't even know if white wants to play Queen G7 and allow black to grab the pawn.
Right.
Although
Queen G7 would have, or King E7 would have been black's way to try to survive, and then after Queen G7, if you go King E6, there's actually not really an obvious way for white to go. But my thinking was, at a minimum, we could just take the queen, right, and go for this ending.
yeah,
These pawns are never in danger because the bishop's on the wrong color, and this pawn's always going to be keeping black's king from running anywhere. And this pawn might be a problem for black. So.
Oh, are you considering G4 after all of the captures, or?
In this position?
Or I'm sorry, I don't see the same position that you do. After rook takes bishop takes d8.
After rook takes bishop takes d8, yes, and then G4.
Yeah, could black just play f5, or is that kind of too crazy with G5 on the way?
Oh, I was just thinking white could take their time here and bishop d2 or king f1 to e2 or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a rush necessarily because.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be tough for black to make counterplay there. So okay.
Yeah. You should be able to see my board on the if you wanted to switch to the stream quickly to see the analysis, but.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, the a5 pawn is a problem for black, I think, because the bishop's always going to have to keep an eye on it, and you're not going to be able to really pull double duty, stopping that, protecting the pawn, and also stopping the h pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been enough for White, probably. Although it would have been a long game.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready to go when you guys are.
Okay, Mike, just let us know when you're back.
I'm back. Let's maybe like a couple more minutes to.
Yeah, no problem. So, are we going to 5 o'clock? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, so let's start the next game at 4 o'clock.
Perfect.
And if you
Okay.
guys want, you can go ahead and mute yourselves now. And so, just so everybody in the chat knows, we've been running some online blitz chess, just free, for fun on chess.com. So if you'd like to participate, anybody is welcome. And our next tournament will be on Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock, and followed by Saturday at 1 o'clock will be our next tournament after that. So we hope to see you guys back for that, and possibly even some more streamed events as well. So be sure to stay tuned to the CCFC website and our emails for any information about upcoming events. And also as a reminder to everybody, so the format for the remaining hour that we have is going to be 3-minute games. And each game will be worth 3 minutes with a 2-second increment, and each game is going to be worth just 1 point. And at the moment we're tied 3-3, so it all comes down to the blitz. Ryan, who do you think has the edge in the blitz?
Ooh. Let's see.
Keep in mind, Daniel doesn't have a mouse.
Daniel doesn't have a mouse. Yeah, that's a really tough one. Although, yeah, I guess I saw. It's interesting because in the first game, Dan got into some time pressure, but then and then faltered. But then in this game, Dan got into time pressure as well, but as his opponent that ended up losing. So it's really tough. I mean, I suppose just on the mouse call alone, I'm gonna have to favor Koganov again. What about you?
Oh man, I think it's a toss-up. I think it really go with it. I think it might come down to the very last blitz game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Unless somebody gets an early lead, but I have a feeling it's going to come down to the very last game.
Mm-hmm.
Last game or two. What do you think about the Kansas situation? That's a controversial question, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't exactly been keeping up with the news. Besides, the fact that, of course, it was postponed, but
I don't think there's any. I haven't seen any recent updates on it.
Yeah, I know. I think somebody. The only somewhat recent thing that I've seen, I think Rajabov did an interview and was not very happy with the whole situation, because I think he stepped down more or less because of COVID, and then now
it's just a bad situation for everybody. I mean, like, what can FIDE do now? It's like if they let him in, it's bad. If they keep him out, it's bad. Nobody.
Yeah. I feel like the decision's already been made, so they sort of have to.
I think they have to keep going with what they started with.
They have to keep going with the same format. Yeah, because you can't just throw out all of the.
And I'm a fan of Rajabov too.
I'm sorry.
I'm a fan of Rajabov too. I wanted to see him playing in the
Yeah, I was looking forward to it too. Yeah, I mean that would be. Yeah, that would be very exciting, but I don't know how you go through half the tournament and then switch out a player or something like that.
I don't know how you would do it either. Yeah, it'd be weird.
Yeah, I feel like they're just going to postpone it until, further notice, and then they're just going to continue as if,
Yeah.
there was an extended rest day.
So we're about to get started with the Blitz any second now, so don't go anywhere, viewers. And we're going to go for an hour. If we get down to, a minute or a few seconds left before 5 o'clock, then the players will still need to start the next game. So it could go a little bit past 5 o'clock, but not much. So we'll see how many games we get in. They're just going to play as many as possible as they can.
Yeah. Will you be the official timekeeper in order to make sure, okay, yes.
I think it'll be pretty obvious as long as
okay.
everybody's on the same page. Yeah. But yes, I'll be the official timekeeper.
Nice. Could add that to the resume.
Official timekeeper of the main event, yes. Okay, let's guys can get started. Yeah, so the scores next to their names are going to be a little bit inaccurate. You should, sorry, on the board, on the chess.com board, those scores are going to be, it says 1-1, but really it's 3-3 because the 15-minute games were worth 3 points. Oh, and we have knight f3 again. Here we go.
Yeah.
So not afraid to try it again.
Yeah. Although at least it's nice that they split in the sense that the chess.com scores will be somewhat of an accurate reflection. I mean,
yes. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Same so far. Let me know if you notice a difference. I think we're just repeating the opening from the first game once again.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea. Have you seen the lines where black plays something like, oh, okay.
Okay, well, here's something new. Early g6, I don't think I've ever seen that before, really. But I guess the point is you want to play bishop f5 early before white gets in bishop to d3.
Yeah. I'm curious, is there... Oh, bishop f4. Okay. Huh. I'm assuming c6 or something? Or I suppose you could play bishop f5. If you play bishop f5 first, then maybe queen b3. So.
Yeah, queen b3 would have been hitting the b7 pawn. That might have been a bit annoying. Yeah, so just c6 first. Yeah. Well, okay, so Daniel is the first to deviate. I guess he didn't like his round 1 position.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that is fair enough. And so we'll see how this goes. Now maybe we'll see a minority attack? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it makes, especially with the bishop on that diagonal, the h2b8 diagonal, I think that makes makes more sense. I don't think anybody's going to be... I don't think white, at least, is going to... Oh, well...
Switching it up a little bit. Yeah, so the minority attack, just for people that know that didn't see the first game, would be white pushes the b pawn up to b5 just to kind of break up this pawn chain. But bishop h6 seems like he has other ideas in mind. I'm not sure I like that move, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it just forces the rook to go where it wanted to go anyway, and it allowed the bishop to come to d6. Could have just left that bishop on f4 controlling that, and the black's bishop would be just passive for a while.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, if you could connect that somehow with making an attack on the king, then maybe that's one story. But without the white bishops, and black seems to have. Is white going to go for e4? Is that can white go for e4? I don't know. Maybe not. No.
Well, I can take it perhaps, and then you're going to take it with the knight, I assume, threatening f6. But then I play queen c7 just in time, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, rook e1. What's the... I guess now that's preparing e4.
Yeah.
So h6, kick the bishop. And now black should trade, or queen c7? Yeah, trade, okay. So there's a weak d pawn, but it's hard to attack it. So that's probably not a huge deal. And white can pop a knight into e5 at some point, most likely. Mm-hmm. That knight would be difficult to get rid of, actually, because you can never really play f6 as long as the queen and knight are ganging up on the g6 square.
Sure.
But at the same time, well, I guess black can't get their knight into e4, so too many white pieces guarding there. I don't really know if I like the way that this is going for black.
Yeah, white seems to have a nice edge here.
Because now, I mean, just compare the pieces. White's rook is way better than black's rook, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the knights are a little bit more active for white than black. But maybe
white has some
for big advantage.
Maybe white has some long-term issues that black's looking to cash in on.
He's got the double pawns. We saw that though in the last game. White had the same double pawns, and it worked out for white. So, I mean, maybe f5's a move that's coming soon, actually.
Maybe prepared by something like queen g3, although maybe white has to be somewhat concerned about like queen b6 ideas.
Or maybe a rook lift, rook e3, rook g3, similar.
Sure.
Yeah, that could be a start of a mating attack for sure. And black never really wants to take on e5. Oh, he's doing rook e3, yeah, because then the f pawn takes. It fixes the pawn structure, and then it just chases the knight away from f6. I don't. Yeah, so black's on the defensive here again.
Yeah.
This really reminds me of the last game a lot, actually. The round 2 game.
But the times are, white has an extra 30 seconds, which is nice, at least for now, as long as he makes a move soon.
I
But,
think it's with the increment. That's it's pretty close to even, I would say.
yeah.
So this knight's gonna probably come to e6.
But with this,
five's annoying still though. Go ahead.
No.
Sorry.
no, that's fine. I was just asking, what do you think would start to be a nagging time advantage for your opponent at this 3-2 time control? Like when does it start to become a factor?
Depends on what phase of the game you're in, I guess.
Sure.
Like, if it was still early in the game and I was down by a minute, I might not be too concerned because I could, there's still a lot of moves to go. I can gain some time back as long as I generally go a little bit quickly. But
Yeah.
if you're under a minute, like Daniel is, and my opponent has maybe like a minute and a half, then I'd be pretty nervous.
Sure. White's moves look very natural those last few.
That's the problem that black has here, I think, is that white's moves are easy to play. Even if they're not the best, like he's definitely improving his position on every turn. And black's
What about
position is the
96?
same. Yeah, 96.
This might be
F5?
F5. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
F4 is possible, I suppose, but
Yeah, things are going to get messy.
yeah, it's gonna get messy here in a second.
Rook F3, I thought Queen B6.
Queen B6, getting some counterplay on the queen side. Yeah. And in
Yeah,
the
I mean
center.
D4 and sit again. Maybe I don't know if it's too dangerous bringing the queen that far away, and maybe white will just.
I think white's trying to hit the F7 pawn with the knight and rook combination. He's got to push F5 or G5. That's an interesting way to do it. Yeah.
Oh, so okay. So
So it's
white
just a race now for the attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to take.
Oh, take knight takes.
Knight takes though. Maybe white slipped up there a little bit.
Yeah.
Unless you don't have any sacrifice on F6, I don't think. Also, H3 and F3 are hanging right now.
And there hasn't been an immediate reply. Sometimes that's a
That's
clue.
an indicator that could be trouble. Okay, so he's going for the sacrifice. He might have had to.
97.
Oh, 97. Oh, of course. Yeah, 97. Wow. Yeah, that would have been... that was missed.
Oh.
It still missed again. Oh, 97.
97.
Gotta get it. Oh no, he missed it. But this looks good also, right? Queen's coming to F7.
Yeah.
This
This is
May.
May.
Yeah,
This is May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so white has won every single game so far, and that was a nice win by white. Missed that fork, but it can be forgiven because it was a nice checkmate.
Sure.
Let me just update the score here. Hold on.
This looks different though.
This is different.
Oh, no, I'm
So-
sorry. No, it doesn't. Although, now it does, yes.
Oh, now it does. Yeah, Rui Lopez. Here we go.
E6. Okay. So this is going to be some similar structure for
It could
black.
be.
If we play it the same way.
Yeah.
Although now I
C3
see.
is different. Yeah.
Yeah. Does this favor white or I don't know? 97 is interesting. Yeah, 97 G6. I think Carlson has tried this in some rap games. Although I think 97 on the fourth move instead. Yeah, this will be interesting. I wonder if you were white, do you think it would be a bad idea to play d5, exchange off the light square bishops, and then kind of go for the standard knight g2 f1, g3?
I think he could, but I don't think Daniel will do it. It's not his style to trade off bishops like that. He's going to play for the bishop pair. Yeah, if I know anything about his style, I looked it up yesterday just to see. We've played 139 tournament games against each other.
Wow.
In the span of about 5 years, which is just an insane number of games. Oh well, he's doing your plan.
I mean, yeah, I guess regardless of how you feel about the bishops in general, I think it's objectively good.
Sure, of course, but he might just play bishop c2. Okay, you were right. Yeah.
Yeah. C4. Is Black aiming to play F5, I guess?
Yeah, F5 makes a lot of sense in these positions to try to... I mean, you got to do something somewhere, and you don't have an advantage on the queen side, so...
Yeah.
You got to try for something in the center on the king side. And White's trying to play for C5 eventually? Is that
I guess, I mean, yeah, this looks old Indian-esque, I guess.
Oh, Black's going for something right away on knight h4. That's interesting.
Maybe he's low on... Maybe he senses that he's down some space and he just wants to...
Just trade. If I were White, I might just take it. Or, well, maybe you can just ignore it, actually, and let him take you and bring out the queen. Yeah.
Sure.
Continue. So Bishop is going to help with the c5 plan.
Yeah. Okay, so he's just getting...
He wants the endgame. But I feel like the endgame favors White here.
Yeah, I think I thought he had to try for, like, even if the computer objectively like kind of disagrees with Black's plan overall, I think, and especially in the blitz game, Black should just have gone for something like F5 and go for the king. You know, it only takes one slip up by White.
This is a nice knight on e4. It defends, it's attacking. It's a more c5 push, so...
I mean, the pieces are going to stack up on the king side, but I don't really know how much White has to worry about.
Well, a lot of pieces have been traded off, so I don't think there's a ton of worry. Not a ton of worrying that needs to happen.
But White does need to eventually start speeding up.
Yeah, he's down over a minute right now, and that's not good. But, you know, entering an endgame like this, we're pretty close. I mean, all that has to happen are the queens get traded, so once you start getting into the endgame, you do want to think for a little bit just to figure out, you know, what's my plan here? How am I going to win this?
Sure.
So it makes sense for him to spend a little bit of time now, I think, to figure out what's his strategy here in this position.
Probably something like knight f6, then takes on d6, and then queen b6 or something. Or, I guess if...
Well, f2 is hanging though, so you have to guard that first. Maybe rook e2. Maybe rook to c1, actually.
Yeah, but even with the queen on b6, even with the queen on b6, it guards f2, no?
That's true, you're right. Yeah. He had to take care of b4 first, though, I think. That was a problem. So now he's done that. And f2 is getting piled on.
Is f3 okay? Probably much. You want to play, if you could get away with it, you want to play f3 a lot more than you want to play g3.
Yeah. Maybe just rook to a2, though, is a simpler way. Rook a2? Yeah. Okay, well.
Oh, yeah, no.
Queen g3, perhaps? But queen f2. No, queen f2, then rook h3, right?
Yeah, queen f2.
And this pawn is pinned, yeah. But White's going to get some counterplay here, taking on d6 and going rook c1 and trying to invade.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, rook takes f3 was a threat, so he had to play king f2. Yeah, that makes sense. So what's going on here? Black's up a pawn.
Yeah.
And he's up by almost 2 minutes. Jeez. So that doesn't really look so good for White. I mean, you are going to get some counterplay, but 14 seconds, it's hard.
Well, 14 plus 2, though. Maybe White could just... There's a lot of shuffling. Unless Black has some direct plan, you can probably gain a decent amount of time.
Sure, you can double your rooks or go rook e4 or shuffle around a little bit to gain a little bit of time. It's definitely a plan here. These moves
come pretty easily.
And the other thing Black has to be careful about is not to start thinking a lot, because then he could be in just the same time trouble situation before you know it.
Why not take rook f7? I don't know. I feel like one playing with
e6 is going to be a problem, actually, isn't it? Because then I have rook takes and then rook coming in next. Some sort of invasion like that, perhaps, is what White wants to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
But
he can just stay still.
Yeah. Well, maybe rook e7, king f7, king e8.
He's going to come in this way. He's going to trade rooks and then bring his king into f5. And then actually, even though Black's up a pawn, the activity of the White King might be enough to make these guys sweat a little bit, and maybe even win for White. Is White playing for a
maybe
win?
G4 connected faster might be tough too.
Yeah. But he should just play G3.
Takes. G3, yeah. Or here, sure.
Well,
I think this is sort of.
You think so? I mean, Black has this protected pass pawn.
Yeah, but I don't think that. Oh, do you think Black could eventually like sacrifice? Well, I don't think Black could sacrifice the pawn though. Yeah, I think this should probably like G3. King E7 runs into. Yeah, I think Mikhail's doing the right thing, just accepting the draws. Probably fine.
So this is going to be our first draw of the match. I don't think White can make any more progress because he's always got to pay attention to the pass pawn.
Well, he has a limit to figure out whether he has some trigger, but yeah, probably not. Okay, last chance. Oh, okay. So.
Oh, that's interesting. White's playing for a win here? That can't be.
Yeah.
Why is he playing for a win? I don't see.
Well, maybe if the king. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, now
maybe there's no risk. Okay. So, all right, first draw. So Mike maintains his 1 point lead, but yeah, it's a 1-game match.
Maybe after King H4, I wonder what King F5 would look like. I wonder if Black could have considered something like that. And G4 check King F4. That might have been
paying attention to. I'm just trying to update the scores here. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Maybe Black could have win that after that second after King takes G4.
Yeah, well, they're on,
So
we're gonna have to catch up to the developments here.
Oh,
What just happened?
a mouse
With a
slip.
mouse slip. Uh-oh.
That's
That would be a costly mistake.
yeah.
Bishop b4 is a threat on top of it. Well, maybe not. The knight can block, I guess, but... Oops. Probably meant to take with the pawn, because that's what he's done in the last 2 games.
Yeah. Is it worth running out the clock, or is it?
I think so. I think he should.
Yeah. Maybe this is all part of the end strategy. You can't mouse slip with a mouse.
That's true. You can mouse slip with a mouse pad.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, this is after 94. This is just
Yeah, 94 is coming next, and then this is going to be toast.
That's kind of unfortunate. Yeah.
But Dan just offered a draw. That was very sportsmanship. Like I think Mike maybe declined it because he didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Your mic's a little echoey still, Ryan. So maybe you can try to turn it down a little bit more. I don't know. But well, that was. Oh, and Mike resigned. Wow. Oh no. Wow. Yeah, you did. Dan offered a draw, then Mike resigned. Oh my goodness. I don't think he saw the draw offer. Otherwise, he probably would have taken it. We'll have to ask them about that later. Yeah, I think it made sense for him to resign because you want to have the time for more games. I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Am I a little bit quieter?
I don't know. I don't hear it, but others are saying it's echoey a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, doing my best with what I have at the moment.
So a win for Daniel makes it a tie score, 4.5 to 4.5. So my prediction that we might be coming down to the final games, as the deciding games, may come true. What do we have here? I missed the beginning. Sorry.
It was a Caravan.
Oh yes.
Interesting one with 3 Queen F3.
Yeah, I've played this before myself, and it's I think it's fine for white. It's definitely good for blitz. And
I wonder if this is a strong sideline for a club cat.
I'm not sure if this particular line is in his Club Cats book. But there are some where he has the queen's coming out early. There's definitely some interesting ones. I was looking through it yesterday.
Yeah, I've seen in the Yellow Pen there's an early queen a5.
Yeah, yep, that's one of the lines that he has in his book. Yeah, I think this position is just fine for white. But also for black, I mean, there's no issues here, I don't think. Okay, just c3, right? Anything wrong with that?
I don't see anything wrong. Yeah,
just
yes, it seems fine.
Okay, queen a5 check c3.
Black. Yeah.
Seems okay at the moment.
Does black eventually want to play e5? I'm not sure the plan. I mean, he can't play it. Maybe he could have played it earlier. I thought there was some tactical reasons he couldn't, but after, if bishop takes e5, making a discovery on
problems with
f7,
that. Yeah.
But I think knight takes e5 holds. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, queen g3 is making space for his knight, perhaps, and also, why not just attack the g7 pawn? Make black think a little bit.
Maybe knight f3.
Knight f3. Yeah, I think
Intending some e5.
Well, knight f3 you probably can't do it right now because of bishop takes c3, right?
Oh yeah, that's close.
Queen is guarding this, and bishop takes would be a problem. So knight e2 instead. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm still impressed by Dan's draw from the last game. He had the perfect opportunity to catch up in the match and offer to draw after a nice mouse slip. That was a good example of sportsmanship for you kids out there.
And for some adults.
Yeah, for some adults to be. Good point.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose this just seems like a roughly even position.
Yeah, no fireworks yet in this game, I would say.
I guess
still this bishop on c8 is just really having a hard time getting in the game, though.
Yeah.
But on
For
the
the
same,
last game,
so is the knight on e2, though. It can't really go anywhere.
not h3, h5, or?
Well, I mean, the queen was just on g3, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't have been possible. What's this queen doing on h4 though? Is it well placed there, or is it going to be a problem?
That's a good question.
White would really like to have their dark squared bishop here for like some sacrifices, but well, now with the knight gone, that's we have the same pawn structure again, right? The 4 versus.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how many times have we seen spawn just old?
Yeah.
Even when they try to play different openings, we get the same treasure. Also, true to Dan's style, is have the bishop here, which probably is a bit better than knight, just because things are open.
Yeah.
The knight has these squares too.
Yeah, mouse slips are definitely part of the game in online chess. You have to expect it, and you just have to, accept that it's going to happen to you. But in a match like this, it's really unfortunate because it can really ruin the score.
Yeah.
So, I mean, luckily it didn't cost him the match or anything like that. Well, I guess we'll see at the end. Also luckily it was early enough in the game, so you never really know what was going to happen. It could have ended up going Daniel's way anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like this a4 move, just kind of destabilizing black's setup a little bit.
Sure. Could black try b4 and just kind of argue that he'll stick the pawn on St. Nicholas bishop, or?
That will give white a pass pawn, though, wouldn't it, if he takes on b4?
Takes queen takes.
Queen takes, yeah, the queen takes. So I don't think you want to give him a pass pawn if you can avoid it.
Yeah, that's
Time situation, by the way, is much more level in this game, I think, than the previous game.
Yeah.
So, but we are getting down pretty low, so we're going to see some moves coming faster here. Maybe he wants to invade with queen c7 and go after this pawn on a5.
Sure.
But he's got to stay guarding f5 too. That's actually a little annoying for white. The fact that this queen is guarding across.
Yeah.
Oh, he took. That's a little bit of a surprise. I see what black's up to. He accepted the weak pawns in order to get some activity, some threats going.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's Mike who's down on time, maybe for the first time in the entire match.
Yeah. We'll have to see how he plays.
Well, not anymore. He just switched again. But for that brief moment in time, Mike was behind on the clock. And he quickly remedied that.
I feel like the positions where, where one side has more activity, especially with such little time, those positions have to be easier to play than.
Sure. Yeah, that piece activity is crucial.
Yeah. Now f5 is falling.
Yeah, that's going to be unpleasant for white. All right. Well, we have an edge, definitely an edge for black here, but the pawn structure is a little bit.
Yeah, but where's that rook on e3 going to go? It's kind of tough. Yeah.
C2.
Okay.
It's going to be c2. I was about to say that. Yeah.
Maybe rook d. Okay.
And
rook
on top
d1.
of it, bishop versus knight. White has some compensation here for the pawn. I think we can safely say that. Yeah, and actually activating the king to f4 at some point is going to be annoying. So he stopped that, but h4.
Yeah, h4.
Yeah, now all of black's pawns are going to be weak. He's got 5 isolated pawns, so.
All of those might be tough to hang on to.
And the active king. I think white's playing for a win here, actually, to be honest.
Yeah. Can we play rook e8, rook e5 check? h4.
Yeah, white just has to be careful not to get mated.
Rook h8? King g5? Rook h5? Does this lead
f4. You got f4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you got to be brave with your king. Oh, in time. I think that's game, yeah. All right, so Lowinger wins 2 blitz games in a row, and all of a sudden has a lead in the match by a full point.
Yeah, but we still have a half hour to go, so plenty of time to catch up.
Sure, yeah, definitely. So we've seen Mike started off with was the first one to be leading the match, and now it has flipped.
Yeah.
Just updating the score here. Oops. Go.
I don't know much about these lines with 94 so early.
I don't either, yeah. I'm not familiar with it. I was updating the score, so let me just see what the moves were here.
Sure.
Oh, my trusty system, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Queen e3, yeah. Don't really know what's going on here. Queen takes e4, bishop f5. Oh no, you can't play bishop f5 because b7's hanging, yeah. I mean, so the question is the queen on e4 good or not? If it can't get chased, then it might be good. But also, black can take on d4 here, right?
Yeah.
Is there a reason why we can't do that? No, the queen and bishop are guarding, right?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Is that, well, he's down a pawn, so I think he has to get it back. Maybe he doesn't have to take right away, though. Yeah, I was about to say.
But what about just like bishop d2?
Yeah, bishop d2, queen b6.
Okay, yeah. Does white castle queens? That bishop f5 looks kind of scary.
Yeah, I haven't had a position where my queen is on e4 so early. Yeah, bishop f5 seems scary now, though.
Yeah.
So, not sure what you do.
What about queen c2? I was thinking queen c2 and bishop f5 e4.
Yeah, that seems like an interesting line. But is d4 hanging? Instead, after queen c2, could I just have taken on d4?
Fair point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was
But it's starting to get a little uncomfortable for white's queen.
Yeah. I think
If you have to go to e3, then how are you ever getting your bishop from f1 out?
It's a good question. D5 seems very risky.
Yeah,
Maybe you have to
maybe you
play.
have to, yeah. But actually, now bishop to e6, maybe. Oh, c5's hanging though.
Yeah, C5 hanging.
Okay, fine, fair enough. I wonder if Mike is feeling the pressure already, feeling like he has to try some aggressive stuff here to make a comeback in the match.
Yeah.
Might be too early to get desperate though, because there's still half an hour. You don't want it to backfire and you try too hard and you lose.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, half hour should give time for maybe four games at least. So, maybe even 4 after this one. So, yeah, there's no reason to try anything too crazy.
Tempted with, I don't know, maybe e4 isn't good here. You're queen trapped. Knight a6, yeah, rook to d8 could be coming.
Yeah, this just seems like black is
Also
asking all
starts
the
on
questions here.
Yeah, black is definitely, I mean, look at these bishops, right?
Yeah.
And white's king is safe for just the moment, though. Also, rook c8 at some point. I'm not feeling too comfortable if I'm white here. Black just has a huge lead in development, actually. You don't really want to trade queens because then the rook's coming down the file. So you probably have to play a3 at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
But actually, in that case, maybe white's okay in this position because how does black attack the queen side here? I don't quite see it.
Do you start with something like knight c7?
No, you can't go there. It's not safe.
Oh, good point. Yeah, hanging a whole piece is.
That's the problem. Is the knight on a6 is just a little bit misplaced in this position, actually.
Yeah, now the king has just enough time to get d1. Yeah.
And white's pieces are activating, so okay, maybe the danger for white is gone.
Yeah, he also survived the.
That was smart of him to go for the queen trade. Actually, at first I thought it was risky to open up the rook, but the knight can't get out of the way so easily, and you can always play a3. And getting rid of the queens really got rid of a lot of the danger for his king. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like the interrogation's over and gets to get away with stealing that pawn.
Yeah, he's up a pawn. It's just a whole pawn, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, okay, after BC, I think there's no huge difference for white.
Yeah,
I
but
think
BC, the knight takes? And you got a2 and then rook are hanging?
Oh, no, I mean, sorry, I'm starting black's BC.
Oh,
White just want to slice BC.
No. You don't want to activate that knight for him, right? So white will just wait for black to do some trades and then just recapture.
This is a nice bishop b5,
Yeah, it's going to shut down this bishop.
Yeah. All black's pawns seem to have been reactivated that bishop, or giving him some more scope, and now either f6 has to be played, or some captures in between.
Sure. Which way do you capture here? Yeah, probably with that rook.
Yeah.
And b4 is not possible because of c4 hangs.
And then there's a3. Yeah, it seems like white's starting to consolidate.
Yeah, he's definitely safe in this position.
Maybe that knight wants to find himself on b3 one day, or d3. I don't know how to get there, though.
Yeah, if the knight could get to b3 and then you could push b4, then you might be in business with like a mate on rook to a1, but...
Yeah, that seems like it takes too long. Maybe knight d2 here?
Looks like he's trying for b4, but the problem is anytime you push that pawn, I'm taking you on c4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that knight on a6 needed to get somewhere else, so that got shut down.
Now d4 is a little weak, though. Maybe that was b4 might have been the tiniest bit premature. I'm not sure. Oh, unless white just wants to play d5, but then knight c5.
Yeah, knight c5 looks like a nice move because knight c5 I thought was better because you had the option to go to d3 or b3 depending on. Like the d3 square looks really nice for a knight, doesn't it?
Yeah. And now that knight actually can't retreat, maybe that's a small problem.
Looks like he's fixing that.
Okay.
Yeah, and black has to keep moving quickly too because he only has 13 seconds.
Yeah. So
Man,
what's the point?
These 3-minute games are a totally different story than those 15-minute games, aren't they?
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, F3? Do we just kind of make sure the pawn is safe there? Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, I think he spotted the knight d3 idea. No,
Oh.
he's going knight a4.
This knight is going to a lot of crazy places.
That
This
knight
makes
goes
sense.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is some pressure on white now. And you have to go rook to e2, I think.
C3.
c3, and knight can take it though.
Oh, knight rook. Yeah, and then
If
yeah.
c3, knight can take.
Yeah.
And knight takes, and then rook takes. So
F4. Yeah.
f4, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of tactics going on here.
Yeah, they both have to go fast. I mean, they only have 10 seconds. So knight b3, rook a1 is the idea. And white
Yeah.
has to come up with a good move here. Actually, I don't even see a move. No, this is mating.
Oh. Oh no.
Yeah, rook a1 on the next move is going to be mate.
There's a flag.
Yep. Well, there was nothing you could do anyway.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay, I think Daniel's won 3 in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
I wish I could confidently answer that question. I think you're right.
Because he went from being down, I mean, one was the mouse slip game, so he went from being down a point to up 2, yeah. Now we're at up 2, so let me just update the score for everybody. Okay, so Daniel is definitely doing well in the blitz portion despite his lack of mouse.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be too much of a factor here. I think if you play enough with the mouse pad, it's not that bad.
You get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It still takes me like at least 2 to 3 times as long to make a move. But yeah, if that's where you're playing usually, then maybe it's not a big deal. D6, do you know anything about D6 in Vienna? I know D5 is, D5 is more of the main line, but
I don't know. I think Mike's playing it safe. We're trying to play it safe, but he needs to. He's down 2 points right now. He needs to start winning some games because there's only 20 minutes left.
Yeah. There's no way to 3-check, so is white just going up a pawn? Oh, no,
It looks like it's even. But white has a big space advantage, which has kind of been the story of the match.
Mm-hmm.
So rook e8, bishop f8 again. We've seen this before. Oh, actually d5 though, or e5 is a threat.
Yeah.
Maybe. So queen c6 to get out of the way of that, yeah. Yeah, is it a must-win for Koganov right now, Ryan? What do you think?
Well, we could always fall back on it. It's definitely a must not lose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
he must win.
Yeah, it seems like it should be a must win because
it's only 20 minutes remaining in the match.
3 games. Yeah, but probably there's this game and 2 more. So
yeah, well then he's got to win all 3 to win the match.
Yeah.
So yeah, must win if you want to win. Or I guess we didn't really talk about what the tie breaks would be, but I guess we played as somebody wins. Wins a game.
I feel like the bullet tiebreak would favor the mouse user.
Yeah, we didn't say anything about a bullet tiebreak at the outset, so I think we just play another 3-minute game.
Yeah.
To settle it. Yeah, black's trying to get some space on the queen side, but I mean white's king is so safe here.
It's going to be tough.
Being any danger there anytime soon.
Could white even? Well, maybe that's too risky. But could white consider something like G4? Or I suppose after knight takes G4, there's bishop f6 issues. So.
Oh, good call. You got it. You should be playing guess the move on the game. Yeah, G4, nice. What exactly? Why couldn't he take it?
Oh, I thought you had to try to take it.
Was it rook G1?
Yeah, rook G1. I thought bishop f6, but maybe e5.
Yeah.
Something good. This just looks like White's attack will be arriving, and
Dan's going to be very happy in this position, I can tell you for sure. I mean, he might even just bring this H-pawn down, just why not? I don't see what Black's going to do. Maybe knight c5 and b4 is an idea, and try to go after the e4 pawn a little bit.
sure.
But then there's always knight d5, so
It's going to be tough.
yeah, a really hard position for Black. But he is up a minute. So he's moving a little bit faster this time. Yeah, the last 2 games I think he got into time pressure, and Daniel had the initiative, so that cost Mike.
Yeah.
So I think he's trying to fix that here, staying ahead on time. Plus, he's got to kind of move fast and hope maybe he can get a few extra games in.
Yeah, that too. The faster you move, the more games
he can fit.
He needs more games.
Yeah, the more games, the better for him. That's for sure. At this point.
But really, one loss. On the other hand, one loss is going to be.
Yeah, then it's curtain. But Dan has stopped moving, so.
Yeah.
He's down to 20-something seconds. Okay, there we go. Whew. But he used like half a minute there on that one move.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a lot of time to spend on knight d5.
Yeah, a good looking move. Just maybe not worth that much investment. Yeah, F5. Yeah, I mean, these moves could.
Yeah, but now I get to put my knight onto the e5 square.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That might have been a queen there.
If the queens come, I mean, maybe, maybe he was psychologically forced to trade queens just to keep things simple with such little time.
Yeah.
And now it seems like Black is doing okay.
Yeah, the queen trade. Oh, was that a mistake? No, I can just take. Actually, you can just move the king.
King F8.
King F8. Oh, is that a blunder then?
I don't know.
Because is the knight trapped on c8 after you take? Take?
Yeah, take.
Oh, there's
Take.
rook d8.
Rook d8.
Oh, rook
Rook
d8.
d8.
Oh, jeez, rook d8. There it is, mate. And that probably is going to seal the match.
Yeah.
Because that's 4 in a row for Daniel, and now it's a 3-point margin.
Yeah, I mean, 15 minutes for 3 games. Yeah.
Oh, that was a nice tactic at the end of that game, though. That would be good for an instant replay later.
Yeah. Slow motion.
Yeah. Let me just get the score updated here.
Sure.
Okay, start. Well, I thought the blitz was going to be much closer, but Dan has taken a commanding lead. It was ever since that mouse slip by.
Yeah, that might have been the big shake.
Things have been downhill from there. Yeah, psychologically, that's hard to recover from too.
Is it really 5? Okay, it's 97. I thought that it was like bishop e3 would have been.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but you might be right about that. Now, what does Black exactly do against this? F6?
Yeah, there's a lot of like bishop d2 and then f5, bishop back to g5 or something. This is kind of a complicated.
Yeah. Well,
Interesting.
Mike is in must-win territory if he wants to try to win the match, but I think there's not enough time to allow a comeback. So right now it's really about trying to even the score as much as possible.
Yeah, even a draw here would seal the match 100%. I mean, we're
I think
pretty
it's already
close.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's like at least 95 or
15
something.
minutes left. I mean, I don't see.
Yeah, but if you play 3 games, then it's time. There's still time for 3 games because 2 games can only take about 12 minutes, maybe 13. Or he's gonna get that last game.
That's true.
In.
You can start the last game with maybe a minute left or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, a must-win is pretty tough. 3 must-wins in a row is another thing entirely.
It would be an epic comeback, but seems to be pretty unlikely at this point. Yeah, so Dan's strategy now should just be to run out the clock. Like, I like what he's doing here with the solid setup, not really giving White many options for attacking or creating complications.
But I feel like White could always just, if Black doesn't create any complications, doesn't White just eventually break through on the queen side? Maybe not after this exchange.
It just takes some time. You got to go b4 and c5 and get your pieces over there.
Sure.
Yeah. But hi, Slav. Welcome. Very exciting match going on here. Well, unfortunately, it's a little bit less exciting because it seems like our winner has been determined ahead of time. But the games are exciting, I have to say. Some very nice attacks, some good time pressure. What's going on here, Ryan?
That's a great question.
I mean, that's a pretty nice knight on f4.
Yeah. I still think White could put some pressure on Black here eventually. Maybe C5 is interesting. I guess without the pawn on e4, the C5 break must be a little bit less
Because you always have to keep d5 protected, I suppose.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So,
Yeah. Don't know that.
I was kind of surprised that Dan didn't go for just a slightly more simplified position. Because really just one draw would seal the match.
Yeah. What was he doing with King H8? I'm not sure I understand the purpose of that move.
Maybe he wants to play C6 at some point.
Throwing you all the hard questions.
Running into some check on the diagonal, but I'm only black that I like the bishop.
Nice square bishop. Yeah, that's the other thing. Dan managed to get his bishop pair, so I'm sure he's happy right now.
Yeah.
Regardless of the score of the match. Okay, g5, here we go. Now it's typical attacking pattern in this opening. Attacks on opposite sides of the board.
Yeah.
Should get Arslan for chess boxing. Yeah, I don't think he's ever done chess boxing. I think the problem is all the chess boxers are much lower rated than Arslan is.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'd be very good at it.
I think he'd be more interested in chess grappling. He's going to have to create another new hybrid sport.
Yeah, you should suggest that to him next time you see him. It looks like White's attack's not turning into much, and Black. I see. King H8 he had a deep plan here to go Rook G8 and attack down the G file.
Yeah. Well, B6 is interesting though. I mean, things are.
Yeah, White has to try to break things up.
Yeah.
Great complications here. That's really the only chance, I suppose. I mean, you definitely can't just let Black do whatever they want on the king side without a reply on the queen side.
Yeah. Was taking an f4 twice all that bad? The answer might be yes, but okay, it's too late now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe c5 runs into trouble. You really want to play like king h1 to get away from tactics, and then like play g3 or at least planning some cheapo tricks.
This knight
This is
g3
essentially my strategy,
Yeah.
which is why my rating isn't quite as high as theirs.
Someone takes on. What do we take? Yeah, b6.
Yeah. Wow.
What does that do? Oh, there's a tactic here. Oh, bishop takes that. This pawn is pinned.
Oh, take queen takes, yeah.
Ah, so he blundered a piece?
Um,
Oh no, the knight's hanging. Oh jeez.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I wonder if he got lucky on that. That came out of nowhere.
I know the answer there.
Yeah, we might not ever know. No, I can't play my move now.
Maybe rook c. Okay, then.
F8.
Okay.
No, black's okay here. Yeah, that was a close one though.
Yeah. Well, the bishop. Could we play takes, knight? Yeah, the knight's not going to be able to hit those in time, so. Wait, what's the winning plan for White look like here?
Don't think there is one because the black king is getting in here on e5 so quickly.
Even if we allow some miracles, let's see, king c4. I don't know. I mean,
if you need more than one miracle to win, then you're in trouble.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially after bishop d7.
I don't think you can win this position with White.
Yeah.
Just don't see how. I mean, the problem is the pawns are all stuck on white squares where the bishop can attack them.
Yeah.
So even if you manage to pick off a couple black pawns, you're going to be tossing up some of these white pawns in return. So
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, H5 is nice. Maybe even King F5, G4 is some idea.
The problem is white just can't do anything.
Yeah.
What do you do here though? If black can just waste a whole bunch of time by shuffling forever, like, but you need to get to the next game if you're white to try to get some points.
I mean, that would be. I think 50 rule move would come into effect before like we start taking away the
Yeah,
last
there's lots
two
of pawns. You get to like move 49, make a pawn move, even like sack the B pawn.
Ooh, yeah. It's an interesting strategy. Now
Probably not necessary because all the pawns are falling, right? Yeah, that's what I was talking about. These pawns on the white squares are just really vulnerable to the bishop.
Yeah, winning this last game seems to be like a more sound strategy than the make the game last for 300.
Yeah, just win the game. Okay.
I mean, he has to play it out. Oh, okay. King.
I think I've lost track of how many. It's going to be 5 wins now for black in a row.
Yeah, because he started down a point.
Yeah, he was ahead a point going into the blitz.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure what there is for white to gain from playing this out at this point.
Oh yeah, maybe a resignation also somehow. Will also forfeit the match. Yeah, it's kind of tough.
I mean, it doesn't matter, I suppose.
Knight F4? Oh, there's no. Is there a fork? Like,
it doesn't matter. I can probably just push the B pawn if I want to.
Yeah. Wait, takes H5, Knight F4, Knight E2. Knight C3 check after promotes. I mean, still probably down.
So we haven't decided on any further main event matches, but if anybody in the chat has somebody they'd like to see play, you're welcome to make some suggestions of people that you'd like to see in a potential future next main event match. Feel free to make any suggestions that you like yourself. Yeah. Noted. Yeah, you can nominate yourself. Anybody you want to call out and challenge.
Oh, this is it. This is okay. It's officially at least a draw.
Officially at least a draw, yeah.
At least test that.
Is that true? Black could form a mating net around his own king somehow.
Yeah, but this isn't like the Farouche game. This is chess.com rules. So.
Yeah, not silly FIDE rules, right?
Yeah.
You've been called out in the chat, Ryan. You've been challenged by Caden.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'd be an interesting match.
Yeah, I think so too.
Would I get a fancy introduction like these guys? That's fancy.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Varsity Dream Team coach. Here we go, draw. Huh. I'm surprised he's able to save a draw from that ending, but.
Yeah.
Okay, well done. But unfortunately, it doesn't help him with the overall match score.
Yeah.
Let me just get the scores updated.
It would still be nice for Mikhail to win the last game here.
Yeah, get a little revenge. It's always nice. Sweet revenge. Sorry, just flipping it so we have the players on the same side all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So here we had a Scandinavian, but we had an early well, kind of transposed into a Scandinavian.
Sorry, I should go back and look at it because I didn't. Oh, I see. Yeah.
These lines are supposed to be okay for.
Well, Daniel wrote the book on the Queen D8 Scandinavian, so I'd be a little reluctant to go into it against him. Certainly, he has the lines prepared against Knight C3 stuff, but.
Sure. Maybe we should do check first. Kind of forcing King D2. Maybe White's fine by that. The center is close.
But he's down a point, right?
No, Knight
G7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that knight's going to find a home on F5. At least for the time being. Oh, very short time being.
Overall, I like White's position for black.
I was going to say the same thing. I like Black's position. More development. White's king is kind of in an awkward spot because if you get checked on b4, what do you do?
Yeah,
if you have king c1, then your rook is blocked in on a1 forever. If I were black, I'd be throwing in queen b4, I think.
Yeah. Maybe he wants to do this only after knight e3.
Yeah, the e3 square is definitely nice for the knight. You can never get rid of it.
And you got the tempo.
Knight.
Queen b4?
Queen b4 is going to be nasty, isn't it?
Well, queen b4, king c1.
King c1, okay, it is king c1. You're right. Whoa, just an exchange sack?
I guess so.
Wow. Huh. That seems unnecessary, but he's just trying to open up he wants to open up onto Black's king.
I think if you have the match in your pocket, you want to go for some style points.
Can afford to take some risks, I suppose. And he didn't take the rook. Interesting. Yeah, I mean the knight on e3 is quite powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe it's not even worth that rook, because really you would be trading it for the h1 rook, which isn't really doing anything yet at the moment.
Rook takes, yeah. Yeah, black must be pretty happy here.
Sure, yeah. Okay, well, this could potentially be the last game of the match, because we just have 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
And, well, I'm definitely rooting for Mike to get a little revenge here. Can't help but root for him to get one back, at least at the very end.
And this would be the game to do it, so.
This would be the game to do it. I mean, this might be the last chance, so.
For that reason, too, yeah. Since this is the only game to do it, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be done after this one.
Yeah. This is fun, though. Yeah, I enjoyed, I enjoyed watching the games. They were all interesting, and there was crazy tactics for...
Yep, no boring games, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Some edge-of-your-seat time trouble.
Yeah.
And I still can't believe this king is safe on d2, though. I don't see a killer blow, but...
Can we just go c5, c4?
Yeah. Actually, I was thinking queen to f6 and pile up, f6. But, yeah, maybe we're going to go, like, h5, h4, stuff like that?
Could we... Yeah.
It'd be really annoying. The white would be totally tied down. Okay, I think it is almost 5 o'clock, so this is officially going to be the last game, unless Daniel resigns right now and starts a new game. That seems unlikely.
There's no need to... Probably no need to go for that.
No need for any of that. I think the queen might switch at some point to the queen side, go to like a6 and hit a2, or try to invade on the white squares or something like that. That might be the winning plan. I'm not sure if you go for it right away or you play h5 first. Because now the king went to e1. But, h5. Makes sense. And huge time advantage for Mike, too, in this game. I wish he had played like this from the beginning of the Blitz. Would have been a totally different story. Uni Kim versus Leaf Pressman. That would be a good match. Achiev versus Kolas. Yeah. Doesn't have to be just Masters. Could be anybody. Anybody out there have like a rivalry of some sort that you'd like to see them meet in a match like this? We'll see about possibly setting that up. But those would be interesting matches as well. Is White weaseling out of this a little bit? Any trades are going to be good for him, I imagine.
Yeah.
Pawn takes, maybe. It's probably forced because otherwise rook f3.
Yeah.
Well,
take c3.
Take c3. Yeah, that was a free pawn, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. Now knight f3 kind of consolidates.
Or we could take the stuff. Let's see. Queen f5. Yeah.
Queen f5. Yeah, just simplify. Yeah, that's good. Knight takes d3 though. Here it might be the move. I didn't play it, but still knight takes d3. I think you got to play it.
Sure.
But now knight no, you can't go knight f4. What do you do about this pass pawn? It's dangerous.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I mean, I think if the knight could reroute to e3, then maybe there's some win. So knight. Ooh, the pawn's gonna be a little bit fast.
The knight guards the queening square. That's the problem. They can always sack the knight at the end and then get.
Yeah, that's true. I guess this knight's going to do the same thing.
Any post-game interview? Yeah, we might do a little recap at the end. A brief one. So this is officially the last game of the match, and looks like white is in the driver's seat at the moment because well, knight takes f3 was possible. Oh no, it was recapture with check, so never mind. Yeah, this pawn's gonna fall. And black's a little tied up at the moment. I think you need to go rook h8 and king f8. Something like that to win the pawn. But well that's a blunder by white. Just hung the rook to that fork. Okay, so yeah, that's the problem with having only 10 seconds. Is your fall for stuff like that. And all right, so Mike is going to get his revenge in the final game. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough, but maybe now we'll talk to the players. Let me just update the score really quickly. So we had a final round win by Mike Koganov to pull up to 6 points, but unfortunately it wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, really exciting match, you guys. Yeah, good
great games. Every game was exciting. And congratulations, Daniel, on your match win.
Well done, Dan.
I don't know if your microphone's on or not, Dan, but
yeah, we can hear.
Hello?
Yeah, there you were. Anything you'd like to say?
That was a tough match. That was really tough, really tough. I always had trouble with Mikhail, so I tried to mix up the openings a little bit there. It looked like I confused him a couple of times, but yeah.
Played very good game. Played, in your manner, like in your style, which is found to be quite, interesting and dangerous. So.
That first game, I was very impressed. I thought I was in a lot of trouble after the first game, the way you attacked. The moment you took with the pawn instead of the bishop, I thought there was a big attack coming, and that was very impressive attack in that first game.
Thanks, and you're handling of the Citador. I have to think. I'm just repairing my Citador. I did something. I don't know. I don't think I made any obvious I play logical, but you played very well.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna get a good experience from analyzing those.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, you guys, for playing.
In the game where I just blunt, I don't know if it's a mouse sleep or I just.
What happened there with the knight?
I don't know. I wanted to take the pawn, and then all of a sudden there was a knight taking it. I don't know what happened.
I offered a draw.
It's. Like in a regular game, OCB game, you touch a piece, you have to move.
Yeah. Well,
so some good sportsmanship.
I never asked for
All right, how do we do? Do we have any viewers? How are we doing out there?
Yeah, we quite a few people chiming in and giving suggestions, and I think they were all very entertained. So thank you guys for some great games, and thank you to everybody that came out and watched and participated. And join us for some blitz tournaments later this week, Wednesday at 7 o'clock, as I mentioned. And, great. And Saturday at 1 o'clock, we'll have another one as well. And
I'm going to set up another match sometime with somebody.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll have some more matches coming up. And we took some suggestions. Some people had some good suggestions for matches they'd like to see in the future, so we'll see what we can maybe set up. Okay, you guys, thank you very much. I think that's it for today. Great job, and congratulations, Dan, again.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate the club, giving me opportunity to say.
Well, we're glad to have you.
podcast.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. Thanks for
Bye.
watching. And thank you, Ryan, for your commentary. It was very good.